Okay, so we are going to be talking tonight about the second consultant call. This call is done 4 to 5 days after a consultant signs up. Okay, so we're kind of doing a refresher course for you all, and hopefully you may even learn some stuff about host coaching that you haven't learned before. Okay, so what I'm going to do for you guys tonight that I wouldn't necessarily do for my new consultants that are brand new is I'm going to actually show you a couple of the videos of host coaching. Okay, so if when I do this for my brand new consultant, I'm going to go through it a little bit different, and then I'm going to send them the link for these videos about host coaching that I want them to watch kind of as homework after we do this call. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what the videos are so you know, so that way when you guys are doing this, you kind of know what to share with them. But the first call that we did this last week, that's done 24 to 48 hours after your new consultant signs up, is mainly focusing on getting bookings. Okay, so we're going to be working on the Frank's list, making your list of 18 and encouraging people, that everyone hears no, and about a third of the people that you talk to are going to say yes, which means 2/3 of them, may say no. Okay, so during the second call, okay, the first thing that is super important, what I'm going to say first, is how is progress going with getting bookings in the last 4 days? What kind of bookings have you gotten on your calendar? Okay, because it's not what kind of bookings have you got, it's what bookings are on your calendar. Okay, because a booking is not a booking unless it is a date on the calendar. Okay, so you want to be sure that your new consultants understand that, that once they, when they're reaching out to these people, the best thing to do is to have them say, do weekends or weekdays work better? Do Saturday or Sundays work better? And narrow it down, pinpointing, okay, which day do you want to do your party? The first Saturday they had available is this day. Will that work for you? Instead of just saying, okay, what day would you like to have a party? And then the host says, okay, let me get back to you. I'm going to look at my calendar. Then you wait a week. Then you wait 2 weeks and you're like, hey, did you have a chance? Oh, no, I just been super busy. I just haven't had a chance to look at my calendar. Why don't we go ahead and check out next month? Okay. And all of this time you've thought it was a booking to this person hasn't ever looked at their calendar. So that's why it's super important when they say, yes, I'll have a show, you immediately say, if you're starting virtual parties, you say, I start parties on this date or this date. What's going to work best for you? Okay. Or if it's cooking shows, you say, does the week or the weekend work better for you? Okay, the week, I usually do them on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Do you prefer Tuesday or Thursday? I probably prefer Thursday. Okay, the first Thursday I have available is this date. Does that work for you? Okay, you have narrowed it down. You have given them an exact date on the calendar that's going to work. Okay, so that's super important. So when you do this second call, you're following up. You're asking, what does your calendar look like? What bookings were you able to get in the last 4 days? Okay. And if they have not booked parties, okay, is it because they didn't have the time to book them? Okay. Were they afraid to reach out to their contacts? They made this list and they haven't done anything with it. Okay. Because they're afraid to make that initial step to reach out. Okay. Did they get all no's? Okay. That could be a possibility as well. Okay. And then you can say to them, okay, do we need to reset where you need a couple days to try to reach out to these people and actually get the bookings on your calendar? Okay. So that's the first thing you need to do on this call is double check and see what bookings have they gotten. Have they been able to reach out to people on their list? That's super, super important. Okay. Now, did they make their own launch party? Okay. When was the last time that you guys held your own personal show? Okay, whether it was cooking, okay, there's some new fun themes, that you guys can do. The chicken pot pie and making pies. It's all about the pies. Okay, that's a fun theme. Going into November, you can do cookie making parties. Okay, do some of these yourself and have these parties, or invite your friends, to get some of their girlfriends together to make cookies together. Okay, there's lots of fun things coming around Christmas time that you guys can do. Are you doing your own parties? Okay, so it's super good for you to ask yourself, when was the last time I held my own? Okay, and inviting your friends over to do it at your house. Okay, if you haven't done that yet, I highly recommend doing that, because I had my first party here at my house, inviting all my friends over, and I was able to get 3 bookings from that initially. Okay, so if you haven't had a launch party yet, I encourage you to do a launch party. Okay, so so now that we have these bookings, the goal is to have the bookings on the calendar. Okay, once we have the bookings on the calendar, the number one thing that you need to know is host coaching. Okay, host coaching for these parties, because what is happening a lot, you know, even in our team, is we get these bookings on the calendar, we hold the first couple of shows, and then we are not getting bookings from these shows that we're holding, and we're not host coaching very well, okay, because maybe we don't know how. Okay, so it's really important, because the way that I always look at host coaching is where I make the money. Stop. Is where I make the money. My show is where I pick it up. Because if I did good host coaching, my host is going to have 12 to 15 people at her show. Okay, I had a house full. You know, the cooking show, I had a couple girls come watch me last night. Okay, and one of them was asking me, how do you get this many people to a show? Okay, and it is all about the host coaching. It is what I say when I am host coaching. Okay, so I am going to share a couple things with you guys. One, I'm going to share with you what a virtual show host coaching should look like. Then I'm also going to show you what a cooking show host coaching should look like. Okay, I want you to take any notes that you feel like you need to at all. And then after we get done with this, I'm going to let you guys ask some questions, because to me, host coaching is so important. Okay, it's really important. I always do a phone call with every host, virtual or cooking, at least one phone call. Okay, I had a host the other day, one of my virtual hosts. I got her on the phone and I started talking to her, and she said, I have no clue how to add people to my party. I have no clue, you know, how to take the messages that you send me and put them on my page. If I would have just tried to text her and said, okay, invite, you know, 150 to 200 people, she would have been like, okay, and chances are she probably wouldn't have done it. Okay, but instead she got on the computer right then and she said, okay, I'm going to add these people, and she did it right then while we were on the phone. Okay, and so I knew exactly, by the time the conversation is, her 175 people were in there. Okay, so it is so important that you have that phone call, because it can totally make the difference in your show. All right, so I'm going to find this document, and then I'm going to turn my screen around, and then I'm going to show it to you. No. Do you see this, that puppy down here? Say hi. He's trying to eat the papers on my desk. All right. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly where you guys can find this. Okay, so as you get new people, it is important that they know where to find this information. Okay, so I'm going to show you where to go get this from. So I'm going to share my screen and turn it around here. All right, so this is our Team PC Hotshot page. Okay, this is the pin post. It is the very top post on our page. Okay, so you hear where it says cooking show training. This is all about cooking shows. So if you're interested in doing a cooking show, this is where you need to go first. Okay, the very first video here is all about how to do a station style show. Okay, these are videos of me doing a cooking show. Then here, this is a host coaching information form. This is what you need to pull up and print out. Stop jumping. Where did it go? Okay, can you guys see this? Host coaching form, you see it? Okay, so this host information form, the very first thing that I do in the call, as you're gonna see, is I'm going to double check the information. Do I have the date right? Do I have the time right? Do I have their address correct, their phone number, all of that? I'm gonna double check first thing, okay? And then this is a checklist for me. Did I do each of these things, okay? So print out, I have a folder right here by my desk that has a ton of these printed out. And when I'm doing a host coaching call, I pull one out to do it, okay? So that is right there in this document. Okay, so the host coaching information page, that's what this is. This is my this is my call that I did for host coaching, okay? I'm gonna share it with you.
As the place where I earn my money and the parties where I pick my check up. Okay, so to me, host coaching is super, super important. So I want you to be able to hear kind of what I say and what I do, and hopefully this will help you as you are talking, even with your virtual hosts or your cooking shows. So I hope this helps. So I'm gonna call this person, and I'm gonna put it on speaker so you all can hear what she says in my interaction back and forth with her. Let me find the number here. Okay.
Can y'all see okay?
All right, here we go.
Okay, I'll make it big again.
Hello,
Hi, is this Kitty?
this is Kitty.
How are you?
I am doing fairly good.
Fairly good. Well, fairly good is good.
Yeah, fixing to go get some dinner with my sisters. We are still in Mississippi at the hospital with my mom.
Okay. When do you get to come home?
I don't know yet.
You don't
She's still
know.
in intensive care.
Is she?
Yeah, she is doing better though. She's showing some improvement. So that's good.
That's
We
good.
feel, we feel a lot better this time today than we did this time yesterday. So
That's definitely a blessing then.
yes. So I'm thinking, I don't know, possibly Monday or Tuesday. They said it probably would be Monday before they will move her out of intensive care.
Okay.
So it'll kind of depend on how she is doing and how, because 8 hours away, we don't want to leave until we know.
Right, that know that she's doing okay before you leave.
Yeah, that she's in the clear now.
Right, absolutely. I completely understand that. Completely. Well, I'm excited to meet you.
Well, it's nice to meet you. Your name is Melody.
I am Melody, yeah. And how do you know Nikki?
Well, actually, Nikki and my sister, who's just younger than I am, have been best friends for 25 years.
Oh,
We're very
wow.
close friends.
Oh, awesome. So I'm sure you know her pretty well then.
So I know, yeah.
That's awesome.
Interaction.
She is a very sweet person, yeah, and she just had a really great party, so I'm excited for her.
Did her party turn out really good?
Yes, it did. Yes, it turned out very good for her. So she had a good party, and it will help. Also, since you are having a party, then she's really excited too because the new products all come out next month, which she doesn't have access for right now. So she's excited because she gets a 50% off item at your party.
And I told her that and she has to come.
That's right, she does. No, but she's really excited. She's like, well, I can get a 50% off and I can get some of those new products. And so she's really excited. Yeah, she is very sweet, very, very sweet. So if you don't mind, I'm going to check your information real quick and make sure I have everything down correct. Okay, so we are doing Thursday the 16th. And does the 6 or 6:30 work for you better? Okay.
Because, some people get off work,
Right.
can't get there quite big, but yet, like for Cindy and Nikki coming from Claremore, she doesn't want to be out.
Not too late. Mm-hmm. Well, here's what I find is that we can say 6, and if we end up starting, around 6:15 or so, that works fine, because a lot of times if you start at 6:30, then you end up starting a little bit later anyways. And so that'll still give people time to get there, and then if we start, a few minutes later, then it's not that big of a deal because it's not going to be too late. So. Okay, awesome. So I'll put you down for 6:30. Let me double check your information and make sure that I have it all done. I wish you texted it to me, so I'm sure that it is. But 2023 West 111th Street in G, and your zip is 74037. Okay, perfect. Okay, so with my invite, I have a couple different ways that I do invite, so you can let me know kind of which way is going to work best for you. Do you text a lot?
Quite a bit. Yeah.
Quite a bit? Okay, awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you an invite, and I'm going to have you text it out to all your friends, and so it'll be a picture invite. So on that picture invite, I'll send it to you, and then you can just go through your phone, and then you can send it out to everyone in your phone that likes to eat, is what I like to say. So, but if you go through your phone book, send it out to 50 people. And the reason I say that is 50 is not going to show up, I promise you that. But typically we over invite so we can get 10 to 15 actually that will come to your party. So if we just invite our 20 closest friends, a lot of times 3 or 4 will show up. So we always invite, and that's what I tell all my hosts. And the hosts that do that, they typically have 10 to 12 people at their party, which is a good number. Okay, so I'll text that invite to you, and then you can just save the little photo, and then you can send it out to your friends. Okay, and what I also can do is I can mail you some little mini catalogs that have information on your party information, and then you can also hand them out. Does that sound something that you would like to do too? Okay, how many of those would you like me to make for you?
Why don't you maybe do 25?
25 of those?
Yeah, because I think maybe even just give me 20.
20 of them?
And that way I will send the 10, and then I can use the other.
To hand out to people as you see them. Yeah, absolutely.
Some people just like a paper.
It is very true. That's very true. And so I can definitely do that for you. Okay, so I'll get you those. And maybe a postcard that I send you because I'm ordering some more mini catalogs, but I have a lot of the postcards. So the postcard will still have all your information on it. And so I'll send that to you along with the new catalogs and the information for your party. So it'll have your host special in there, because the host special for the month of March is really good. And so it'll have your host special, and it'll also have in there when your guests spend $75, they're going to get an item for free. Okay, so it'll also have what that item is. And so that way when they place the order, you can say, hey, I just want to let you know when you spend $75, you get one of these items for free. And so I'll put both of those in there with a little bit of information about your cooking show. I'm going to email you your grocery list. And do you have maybe you did. Maybe I just didn't. Maybe I didn't write it down. I think maybe you did.
It's real simple anyway. Kitty Bible at att.net.
Okay, perfect. I do think I remember actually seeing that now. Okay, so I will email you the grocery list, and then anyone that wants to pay with a check, then you can actually have the checks made payable to me. And Melody is with an IE, and then Harper. And if you have anyone outside orders before your party, then I can you can just give me the check for your stuff at the party. And I can even figure the total and stuff for you as well. If you say so-and-so wants this amount stuff, and then I can tell you what the total is and everything. So as far as food, I have a few different options. We can do, I have a couple different Mexican themes that I'm not sure what you think about Mexican. But I have fajitas that we can do in the rock pot, and those are done in the microwave in 12 minutes, and it's amazing. And then I also have a fiesta chicken dip, and it is just chicken that I cook in 8 minutes in the microwave. I shred it all up, and then we add a can of black beans, a can of corn, a can of rotel, a block of cream cheese with some taco seasoning. We cook it for 4 more minutes, and then I top it with cheddar cheese. And then everyone can do like a dip with it, or they can put a scoop of tortilla. And so that's a very popular recipe that a lot of people like. I also have kind of a cheese and chocolate theme where we can do a cheesy bruschetta dip with a peanutty brownie, which those are both pretty popular as well. Either of those the cheesy bruschetta and chocolate. Okay, so I will tell you if you are looking for do you like peanut butter and chocolate together?
I do.
Okay, so you probably would like that peanutty brownie then.
It sounds like something I would like.
Perfect.
Chocolate, you know?
Chocolate, you can't really go wrong with chocolate, that's for sure. Okay, so I would write down the cheesy bruschetta dip and the peanutty brownie. And then I will email you that stuff in your groceries to pick them up. And you don't have to do any of the dicing or the chopping or any of that stuff. You can just lay the food on the counter, and when I get there, I'm going to set it up in the station. And so we'll have 2 different stations. And I like to do very hands-on shows so people actually get to try the products before they buy it. And so I'll have the station set up, and I'll go over how to use the products, and then they can actually come up and use the manual food processor, you know, and use the food chopper and use some of these things so they know how to use them. So that's the important thing, that people aren't just, you know, buying things and then getting them home and not knowing what to do with them. And so I like for people to be able to try them at the actual parties, and people seem to have a really fun time, you know, interacting and actually trying the products and stuff too. So, and as far as outside orders, you know, I kind of always give my hosts 2 goals. First thing, you know, that we have, you know, 10 to 12 people that that will come to your party. And then if you can have around $200 in outside orders before your show even starts, you know, then that's going to be a great, you're going to have a great party. So I kind of give those two goals, and some of the outside orders may come after. You know, if you have some friends that don't, you know, they'll end up coming, or someone that says, yeah, I wanna order something. You know, some of those outside orders may come afterwards too. So, but I will get you your 20 invites, along with your packet of stuff. And then I'm going to email you your grocery list. I'll probably do that just a little bit closer to your party. That way it doesn't get lost in your emails. Because if I send it too soon, people typically say I can't find it. So, but if I haven't sent it yet and you're going grocery shopping, just let me know, and I can send it right away too. If I haven't gotten it to you yet, and you like to shop early for your stuff. So, do you have any other questions for me at all?
I don't right now, just because I've had so much on my mind.
Yes, really right, to think about and process stuff, yep.
But this is great, and if I think of anything, are you okay with that?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. Yeah, you can just shoot me a text. Yeah, absolutely. That totally works for me. That would be great. Okay, well, I am looking forward to meeting you and getting you everything that you need.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, and I hope that your mom gets better and that you're able to come home soon.
Thank you so much.
All right, well, thank you for talking to me for a minute.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, thanks. Bye. Okay.
Okay, so I would love to hear your opinion and what you guys thought about that call. Was there anything that you noticed that I did that maybe you are not doing?
The call.
The call. There you go. Step number 1. Okay. Anyone else? Stop. So the rest of you are doing it like that?
No, I'm with the others. I haven't done it right from the beginning. And I'm the world's worst about calling anybody.
So I will tell you guys, honestly, if you will do this call, did you notice at the beginning the relationship that I formed? You know, she's with her mom, she's in the hospital. So I spent the first little bit developing a relationship with her. I had not met this person. This person didn't even go to one of my shows. She just knew that her friend had a party and she wanted to have a party. So she, her friend said, I want to have a party. And so she decided to book one with me. So I had not met this person yet. And so I needed to develop a little bit of relationship with her because she had never met me at all. Okay. So it is super important. And her party ended up being $800 in sales. And she did end up having about 10 to 12 people there. Okay. So everything I told her to do, she did. Okay. So especially, I knew it was super important that I went through those steps with her because she had not been to one of my parties before. She did not know what to expect. She did not know about how I do my hands-on shows. Okay. So I needed to explain a little bit of that to her. Okay. So this is really, really important that I know it is sometimes hard to pick up the phone and put do this call, but if you do it, you're more likely going to have people attend your party. And imagine if 10 to 12 people attend every one of your parties. And then you get 2 bookings from every show that you do. Okay, that's our goal. Okay, I get, 1 to 2 bookings from every show that I do. Okay, sometimes more. And it's all about having people there. If you only have 3 to 4 people there, or think about your virtual parties. If you only have, 2 that are participating, okay, it's not putting you in front of enough people. Okay, it's not getting more bookings, which we're struggling with. We're having some of the initial shows, but are we getting more bookings? Okay, and it's also not going to be putting you in front of enough people to recruit. Because if you don't have enough people at your parties, enough people are not going to be seeing the business opportunity. They go hand in hand. The more people more parties you have, the more people are at your parties, the higher bookings you're going to have and the more recruits you're going to have. Okay, so they all go hand in hand. Now, I know several of you on here do virtual parties. So I want to be sure that you also know, how to do a host coaching call virtually. Okay, who has seen the video on Crushing It Virtually of the host coaching call?
Me.
Christy has?
Yeah.
So we have a couple people that have not. So Miss Janet, since a lot of these people have seen it, I'm going to show you where to get it from, okay? And then I want you guys to watch it, unless you guys want me to play it for you. The rest of you want me to play it for you? Do you guys remember it? I see this. Yeah. Give me, no, Hudson. No.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. All right. My dog just tried to cut, this cord was in his mouth. I'm going to have a fried puppy here in a second. No. Okay. So I'm going to pull it up because this is not me doing it. It's someone else doing it. And she does a really good job on this call. I'm going to show you the paper because same thing. There's a paper, you print it out, you watch this video once, you do it yourself every single time. Every time, no matter what. Okay, let me find it and then I'll flip the screen. One moment. Okay. All right, I'm going to flip the screen here. Now, what I'm going to do is after the first call, I took an Evernote file, and I think I shared it under that booking blitz that we're doing. It's that document, not the first one, which you can use that first one, but it's the one in the comments. I took all the stuff from that Crushing It Virtually, all the stuff about bookings, and I put it all in one document together. So that way, after the first call, you can send them this bookings, okay, and you can have them watch it, and it's all about getting bookings. So after this call, our goal is for them to know about host coaching. So I'm going to take each of the host coaching items that was on that Crushing It Virtually, and I'm going to put it into its own Evernote file. So after you talk to them about the second call, then you can send them the videos on host coaching, and on there will be my cooking show one and a virtual one that they can watch the video and they can learn more about host coaching. Okay, because imagine, you guys think about your team right now. Do you think your team is doing good host coaching? Okay, do you think it would make a difference in their shows if they did host coaching? Okay, so do you think that as we move forward and we get these new people on our team, that host coaching is probably an important thing that we're teaching them from the beginning? Because imagine if when you guys very first started, you would have started doing host coaching right away. Would it probably have made a difference in your parties? Okay, so that's why it's so important going forward, the new people that we get. The second call is one that we are not doing enough. We do the first call, we talk to them about bookings, but then we're not doing a second call and a third call and a fourth call. Okay, we're leaving out the rest of it. So they're having their initial shows, and then they're not getting more bookings, and they're not doing host coaching, and they eventually are just kind of falling off. Okay, so our goal is to start making strong consultants that are qualifying and that are getting off to a good start. Okay, that is our goal. Okay, so I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to show you this really good host coaching call. I'm going to move you all over. Okay, so I will also include this, but on the paper, but here, this host coaching document page, this is step by step what she says on this phone call. She has it, you can see that she looks at it when she's doing this call. She is asking the questions right off of this paper. Okay, so you literally will have all of the information. So I'm just going to pull up this host coaching call.
Hi, I have a host coaching checklist that I go through with each host before their party starts. So I am going to let you guys listen to what I say when I pick up the phone and call my host before her party starts. This host name is Barbie. We're going to give her a call. Hi, Barbie. This is Vicki with Pembroke Chef. How are you? Great. Thank you for taking time out of your day to have a call with me. It's not going to take long. We're just going to go over a few party details to help you have a successful party. Wonderful. I'm going to send you wording and a graphic that you can add to your personal Facebook wall a few days before the party starts. So I will message that to you. You can just copy and paste and then add the graphic as well. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to send a private message. You can text, you can call the guests before adding them to the closed group. That way it's more personal rather than them just getting added to a group. And then you also will want to over-invite. And when I say over-invite, it's like if I have a cooking show for someone and I always tell them over-invite, add 40 guests. And they look at me like, 40 guests? 40 aren't going to fit in my house. Same thing with the online party. Over-invite, add at least 100 if you can. Because what's going to happen is not all 100 are going to end up joining the party. Correct. And then do you have a wish list started yet? Wonderful. What products? Great. Super. If you haven't created an account yet, you'll want to do that. And the reason why you want to create an account is because you're going to be able to get out to, it's called the host dashboard, and you will be able to tell once you reach 200 in sales, you will be able to see what your host rewards are. And then also you'll be able to check what you're at for guest sales. You'll get an email before, right, you'll get an email when your guests place an order online, and I'll get an email too. So that's how I know to go out into the party and to thank them. And then you'll know who ordered. It's not going to tell you how much they have spent, but if you log in to your account, then you'll be able to see what you're at for sales. Wonderful. So paper orders. You're passing the catalog around to everyone, and take it to work. If you take the catalog to work, you just don't want to, let it sit on the corner of your desk, because if people don't come over to your desk, they won't know that you're having a party. What you want to do is, let people know. If you can pass it around, pass it around. If you have a break room that you can put it in, still let people know that it's there. But pass the catalog around to everyone, neighbors, friends, family. And when you get a paper order, you can either go out into the party link that's in your closed group, or you can call me directly, and then I can add the order for you. And then if you have a guest that makes out any checks, so don't have them make the check out to me, because if you have them make the check out to me, by the time you mail it to me, I get it, take it to the bank, the party could be almost over. So if you have a guest that makes out a check, have them make the check out to you, and then you pay me with your credit card for their order. Same thing if someone gives you cash, you just keep the cash deposit into your account, and then you pay with your credit card. And then your order will need to be submitted the day that I close your party as well. And we will have a phone call the day that we close to go over some closing details. And then as far as shipping, orders shipped to you are $5.25. If people live out of state, out of town, they can still order. They can go to that link, and their order can be shipped to them, but there will be an additional charge. And the most important thing about an online party is you as the host being engaged. Just like if you had a cooking party at your house, if you would sit in the bathroom the whole time, what would happen? The guests would leave. Same thing with an online party. If you're having the online party and you're not engaged, you're not commenting, it's going to be the same thing. They're going to leave the online party. So by being engaged, you want to like the posts, comment on them, take your guests in the post. If I post something on baking or grilling or cooking, and you know someone, family or friend, that, oh my gosh, she would love that, tag them. Yep, tag them in it. And then with the games, don't play the games, but cheer your guests on, because they're going to want to earn those tickets, as many tickets as they can get. So you can comment if you want to get the game going if nobody's playing, but definitely cheer them on. And then with the roll call post, once they reply and they say, like how they know you, you want to comment back and reply to them. And that's just all keeping them engaged right off the bat when the party starts. And then as soon as you add your guests to the closed group, you're going to want to make sure that you add a personal thank you. So I welcome them, and I thank them, but you as the host, you're going to want to thank them as well. And in that post, you can let them know when the party closes. You can let them know to watch for the fun games. Really anything that you want to say about, Pampered Chef, how you love the product. And then I will send you wording and an image to post usually about every day, maybe every other day during the party, just to keep guests engaged. So I will send you the wording. You just need to copy and paste, and I'll send you the graphic too. And if you look on the back of the catalog, you're going to see a chart. And on the back, that's the host reward chart. So you can see at $200 what you earn, $300, $400. You can't use the free product value you earn towards your half off or off of the 60% host special. Wonderful. And then as far as bookings, Our goal is to get you 3 bookings so you get more products in the upcoming months. And did you know that you get 1 item at half off each time 1 guest orders? Or, I'm sorry, one guest books. Right. So what will happen is during your party, our goal is to get you 3 bookings. So say somebody books in October, November, and December. When they have their party and when they reach 200 in guest sales, you get 1 item at half off. So when you're making out your wish list, your larger items that you want, try to keep 3 of them, set them aside. So when you get those bookings and they have their party, you'll be able to use those for half off. And if you get more than 3, that's awesome. And I'll ask you, I do add posts throughout the party. I will ask you throughout the party, like who you think would be interested in ordering. Everyone that places an order, I do ask them to book a show. And even if it's somebody at work, you can go ahead and, if they're not on the Facebook, ask them. They might be interested in booking a party from you. And then if you reach 700 in sales, I will give you a product valued at $25. And you can pick between the whipped cream maker or the microwave popcorn maker. And then if you reach $1,000 in sales, I'll give you a product that's valued at $50. I know, isn't that cool? Yes. Mm-hmm. And then in your host packet that I mailed out to you, I don't know if you looked at it yet, but there's an orange brochure and there was a Kit Credit coupon in the packet. I don't know if you've ever thought about doing something like Pampered Chef. Have you? Okay. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. So, right. So you can, if you want, if you like throughout the party what you're seeing, and you're excited that, hey, this is something that I can do. And how the Kit Credit works is there's $25 and $50. So for instance, when you reach $300 in guest sales, you get $35 in free product. Instead of taking that $35, you'd use $25 of it for the Kit Credit, and then you would get $10. And then when you go online to sign up, that $25 is subtracted off of the price of the kit. So think about it through the party. If you have any questions, you can definitely let me know. I do have a virtual look and learn that will give you an idea about what the business is about. Right, and what I can do is I can add you to that when we have the next one, if it's something that you're interested in. And you know what, if you're not interested in the business at all, that orange brochure, think of someone that you know that can use extra income. Everybody nowadays can use extra income for something. Share the business opportunity with someone if you're not interested. I would really appreciate it. My sticker is on there. You can tell them about me, and they can contact me. Okay, super. Well, I'm excited to start your party. Thank you. Have a great day. Goodbye. Okay, so that is basically my coaching call. And it's different every time. It just gives you an idea of what I say, how to get them excited. At the end, I do talk about the business. And a lot of times they might not be interested right away, but they go through their online party and they're like, you know what, this is something that I can do. So then at that point, I check in with them usually about, I don't know, halfway throughout the party, and bring up the business opportunity again. So in the beginning, I'm planting the seed, and then I follow up with them, plant another seed. And then if they decide at the end that they want to use the Kit Credit, then I just talk, through that with them again. All right, thank you.
Okay, so that, holy cow, hold on. Just a second. Wow, we just took off there. Hold on. the
Race car driver.
Continued after.
Are you driving away?
Ford, that's Jay Leno, 1989, driving something. Okay. All right. So tell me, after watching that video, what did you take away? What is something that you took away from that video? Anything?
Well, I signed on right at the end of it. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hi, Tracy.
The little bit I got to see, I took away the fact that I don't always call my host. I text with them. So I need to start making that phone call. I think my parties would do a lot better if I did that, made a personal touch. Lately they've been going better than normal, but I think I could even get it up there even higher if I did that extra touch. So.
Yeah. I would completely agree. Absolutely. Now, I will be completely honest with you. When I started virtual parties, I was just kind of like, I'll message, I'll text, whatever. And I didn't look at them the same way that I looked at cooking shows. But quite honestly, your virtual parties almost need more host coaching than your cooking show parties do, honestly.
I agree.
So it is super important that you pick up one time. Notice that call took 10 minutes. 10 minutes of your time could totally change a virtual party. Totally change it. So I encourage you guys to start picking up that phone and making that host coaching call. Printing out this checklist. You know, there's the checklist for the virtual party and there's the checklist for the cooking show. And doing it every single time, because I really feel like it is going to help your parties, because you don't want to have parties and have 2 or 3 people in attendance. Okay. Then it's not worth your time. Okay. You want to have these parties and you want to have, if it's cooking show, you want 10 to 12 people there all the time. If it is a virtual party, you want 30 people, on there participating. Okay. And the way that happens is if you are letting your host know what needs to happen. Notice that she talked about bookings. She said our goal is 3 bookings. Okay. And you get a half price item from these parties. Okay. So the host notes from the very beginning, that is the goal, is 3 bookings. Okay. And so then when you have her post things about booking shows, she's not surprised about it. Why am I doing this? Why is it so important that she gets a booking? So they already know, I want a booking because I want a half price item. Okay. So she went over the bookings and she went over recruiting. She said, did you get that orange pamphlet in there that had the kit credit coupon? Have you ever thought about joining Pampered Chef and doing something like this? And that person obviously had. Okay. So, because she said, oh, you have. So you don't know unless you ask. Okay. And like she said, they may not say from the beginning that they're interested, but after they've been through the party and they're like, oh, well, maybe I could do this. Okay. You can still say, well, watch me through the party. And if you still think it's, not something you'd be interested in, then that's fine. But I'll ask, we can talk about it at, the end of your party. But notice she also said, if you end up not thinking this is something that you want to do, please share that brochure with someone else that you think it could make a difference. Okay. To me, why not say something like that? Maybe she has a friend that could use this business. So imagine your host doesn't sign up, but she gives it to a friend that she thinks could. Okay. So that little tiny thing right there could make all the difference in recruiting. Okay. So I always talk to every one of my hosts about the business, no matter what. Okay. And then I'm sharing about it in every show as well. So this I'm going to take and break down into a host coaching Evernote. Okay. It's going to have the documents. It's going to have these calls on here. What I'm going to do in our pin post is I'm going to put the Evernote for the bookings. So after the first call that you guys have, you're going to go and you're going to send them the information about bookings. After you have this second call with a consultant, you're going to go up and you're going to send them the Evernote about host coaching. Okay. And so the next call that we do is going to be, I'm pretty sure it's about touching base with people in your parties. So following up with people in your parties. So before their first party, and then customer care. Okay, the 2 + 2 + 2 concept. Okay, and so if you don't know what 2 + 2 + 2 and following up with customers, that's a definite call that you're going to want to be on. Okay, so can you see the difference that this can make in our new consultants starting out if we really help them through these first 4 calls? Okay, so it's really important that we're not just helping them get bookings and kind of sending them on their merry little way, that we are actually, Amy, that we are actually helping them be more successful in their parties as well, and moving forward and getting those additional bookings and, and recruiting from the very beginning. Okay, so the third call, I will probably do it maybe later on Sunday night is what I'm thinking. Do the third call, and then the fourth call will be next week. So we can get through all of these so you guys can see what the first, second, third, fourth call look like, and how important these are for our new consultants.
Can you do the one on Sunday night after 8 o'clock? Because I'm
Yes.
going to be in Tulsa this weekend.
Are you, Miss Tracy?
Yes.
Yes,
I'm
I will. We have a Halloween event at church, so I hopefully will not be dressed up like a bunny again. Yes, it will not be earlier than 8:30 for sure. So by the time we get home and everything, so that is the goal. But if you guys have any other questions, about these calls at all, just let me know. Now, if you do not know where to find this binder, do you guys know where to find the binder that you're printing out?
No.
Okay, let me show that to you guys real quick, because the first, second, third, fourth call is all in a binder that you can print out and you have access. So what it does is it has the checklist first, and then it has the actual call. And so once you kind of get good at this call, you can kind of just follow the checklist. Did I talk to him about this, this, and this? Okay. So let me turn the screen around real quick, and I'll show you where to find that document to print it out. Okay, let me go back to Jay Leno's racing here. That scared the tar out of me. I was like, what the world? All right, so if we go to our Payment Chef website, I'm going to sign in here. Okay, so we are going to go over here to where it says, PC University. Okay, You're going to go on there. You guys are probably familiar with PC University. Now, if you go to courses, and then you go to Coaching New Consultants.
Awesome.
Okay, so click on there, and you can look through some of these tabs and stuff, but the binder is under Coaching Basics and Instruction Resources, the second tab down right here. This Touchpoint Guide, this is pretty cool, because this is what Home Office is sending your new consultant and what you should be doing along with what they're already receiving. Okay, so I printed this out and I put it in the front of my binder, because Home Office is now sending them several emails on what they need to be doing when they first start out the business too. Okay, so you can kind of see what that is. That's going to be on there. Okay, so that's that. But now this Coaching New Consultants binder version is right there, that first tab. Okay, and then you can just print out this document. It's going to tell you, what you're going to need to do as a leader, for your team members. Coaching basic instructions. Okay, this is just kind of basic information for you as the leader. Okay, welcome call. Now, honestly, I combine the welcome call with the first call. Honestly, I introduce myself all in one. You can do it this way. This welcome call is literally just supposed to take like 5 minutes welcoming yourself. I honestly welcome myself at the beginning of the first call. Okay, so you guys can do it however you want, but that's how I do it. So the first coaching call checklist, this is the checklist here. So once you have it down, you can just check it off. Okay, now here, until you have it down, here is the information that you're going to want to go through on the call, and read it beforehand. Write any notes that you want to do. Okay, and be sure that you talk about. So it has the first call, and then it goes into the second call with the starting with the checklist, and this is what we just did here. Okay, so what I said to you guys at the beginning of the call is all this stuff right here. Okay, obviously I didn't do, you know, brainstorming about attendance and stuff with you guys, you know, because not all of you are newer. But if it was someone new and they don't have attendance yet for their parties, you're going to brainstorm with them on how to do that. And then here's the reviewing host coaching tips, you know, kind of what we went over there, and reinforcing the 30 and 90 days and what that means. Now, I will tell you this right here, where it says fast track director, this is something I go over on the very first call. I've always done it the very first call. This says do it on the second call. So you can choose what you want to do there, but I've always done it on the second call. I mean, on the first call. So, all right. Does that make sense? Are you guys going to be able to find that okay? So I just printed it out. I've got my binder here. I printed it out and I did tabs. So I put my touch point. That touch point guide is the very first page there. And then I just started printing this out. I have the getting started checklist in there. And then here's my getting all the coaching for new consultants. So then I have the first call, and then I have tabs, you know, second call, third call, fourth call, you know, and it all goes in here. So having your binder and having this, I mean, you're going to get to the point, I can pretty much do that first coaching call in my sleep now. I've done it so many times. Okay. But the thing of it is, I can be honest, I could probably do the second, the third, and fourth call in my sleep. Okay. And that's where we have the problem as our team, is we get them started and we're not doing that second, the third, the fourth call with them. Okay. And they don't have to be that long, guys. But I will tell you, if you invest a little bit of time in the beginning with your new consultants and you start them out right, it's going to make all the difference in the world for their success. And it's going to help, you know, you in the long run, because you're getting your new consultant started out right. So spending that little extra time in the beginning is going to have, you know, long lasting effects on your new consultants. Okay. So it's super, super important. You don't want to be beating your head against the wall, you know, 3 years later, because your new consultants, you know, are just not getting it and they're not sticking around. Okay. So, anyone else have any questions at all? All right. Well, if there is no more questions, we will end this meeting. Thank you guys for being on the call. I appreciate it. I hope that this was beneficial. And like I said, I'm going to be putting together the host coaching Evernote, so you guys can find that information to share it with others as well, or watch the other stuff that's going to be on there too. So,
Sorry, late.
All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.